Right, you mugs, you've either clicked on this video because you always nap and want some validation, or because you're always tired and want to know whether napping can solve your problem. Well, the good news is I've done some research and found the perfect formula, which I'll tell you a little bit later in the video. But for now, let's just start off on why napping can be so beneficial if done properly. Various studies have highlighted the benefits of napping on memory and cognitive function. One study in particular, linked down below, showed that napping was just as effective as cramming with 30-minute breaks. But it was only napping that showed long-term retention when the same information was tested a week later. This suggests that napping does not only help in immediate recall, but also in long-term retention. A similar investigation into napping in a Singaporean school found that students who took a 30-minute nap after lectures experienced prolonged retention and better long-term performances. I think this is particularly noteworthy given that it highlights the practical application of napping, and it's not something that is just for purely pleasure reasons, but also the fact it can actually benefit students in academic environments. Napping also acts as a safeguard for sufficient nighttime sleep. When we age, our brain shrinks slightly, and this shrinkage is accelerated by neurodegenerative diseases. A UCL study found a correlation between napping frequency and brain size. This would suggest that frequent napping can actually act as a buffer towards cognitive decline as we age. However, this study also highlighted that despite there being less shrinkage in the brains of those who napped more often, there was not a marked improvement in memory retention. This discrepancy, some investigators say, may be because it's about the manner in which the nap is performed. That nap frequency is one variable, but also nap length and timing of the nap are other key factors in the importance of napping. There are various types of naps, but today we're going to be focusing on performance-enhancing naps. Now, there are other ones like appetitive naps, which are those for enjoyment, and prophylactic naps, which are essentially pre-sleep naps, which are all very interesting and maybe the subject of a future video, but currently focusing on performance-enhancing nap. To experience the best nap, we need to focus on an optimal length, which means that you can't just get in from school and lie back until it's dinner, unfortunately. The experts at the CDC have provided some guidelines for us to follow. So the thing you want to be avoiding is a nap of about 60 minutes, because this is when you enter your sleep inertia, which is essentially your deeper sleep state. And it means that when you wake up from that kind of nap, you're actually going to experience that kind of grogginess and that unwillingness to get up, which is exactly what you're trying to avoid in this whole operation. That whole zombified state all orientates around the circadian rhythms and all that jazz. And so entering the deepest sleep state is absolutely avoidable. Instead, the CDC would recommend that you take a 20-minute nap, which means that you never actually enter that deeper sleep state. It means that when you wake up, you're feeling more refreshed because you're not coming out of this really deep state. Or you go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and you take a 90-minute nap, which means you complete the circadian rhythm, and when you come out of your sleep again, you've just finished your deep sleep state, so you're not coming out of this really intense sleep state. If you're someone who complains about taking a while to get sleep, then you're probably better off setting like a 30-minute alarm so that you've got a 10-minute buffer zone to fall asleep, and then you can have the optimal nap length. It's all like very Inception-y kind of stuff, admittedly, but this is all optimal theory for you to have a best possible nap. One thing that is important is to nap with intention. It's not good enough to just kind of lie in bed and hope you'll wake up when it's time. You need to set an alarm and get up as soon as it's time. Another strategy that I've seen people recommending loads and actually tried out with impressive performance results is having a shot of espresso and then having a nap. Because that then means that not only are you coming out of your nap at one time, but also the caffeine boost is starting to hit at a similar time. Which means that you've got like all of these different stimuli essentially telling you to wake the hell up and get your life sorted, which during exam season is incredibly important. Essentially, you just kind of turn into this like the Star Mario kind of vibe. You're a machine. Power naps typically last 10 to 20 minutes and are ideal for those who are needing a quick refresh of the mind or body. Research has shown that power naps can improve cognitive performance and even reduce stress in students and professionals alike. It can be the difference between an afternoon slump and a highly productive second half of the day. Apparently the naps can also improve reaction time, which is pretty cool, so it can be quite crucial if you're trying to make high pressure decisions in a short space of time. But that's what the studies say, which, as I say, all linked below. If you have more time, then a 90-minute nap could be highly beneficial. It means you can enter that light sleep, that deep sleep, and even that REM sleep, which means you complete your circadian rhythm, everyone's happy, everyone's laughing, happy days. As a result, you wake up feeling fairly rejuvenated, and studies have actually shown again that students can wake up with emotional resilience as well as memory retention and all that other jazz. Okay, so time for a few practical tips for effective napping. I've done a little bit of digging and found that these 5 things can really improve your napping ability. If you're an absolute well and you've never napped before, then here are 5 things that are probably quite a decent place to start so that you can actually have your best first time nap. Right, so first of all, we need to create a nice napping environment, of course. This means you need to find somewhere that's quiet. Ideally, you've got some blackout blinds. If not, get a little eye mask on the go, maybe get some earplugs, get some white noise. Whatever that means, kind of block out everything else so that you're in your own little zone and you can easily pass out. Next up, you've got to set an alarm. As I said earlier, you can't be sitting around like bread hoping that you'll just kind of wake up naturally when it's the right time. Get an alarm down, whether that's 20 minutes, 90 minutes. Either way, you can prepare for a short power nap or a full-on 90-minute circadian rhythm, eat your heart out, 90-minute kind of nap. Either way, alarm set so you can wake up and get up as soon as it goes off. Next up, make sure you're actually going for the right time to have a nap. If you go too early or too late, then it might mess around with your actual normal nighttime sleep, which is not ideal. So ideally between 1 and 3, but between 3 and 5 also achievable, as long as you're not absolutely going to town with it. Make sure you kind of stick into a routine and don't change around too much every day. Like I said earlier, if you're in dire need of a nap, if you think like you're almost dead at this point, a caffeine nap could be the play. Get a little shot of coffee down you, get to bed, get the 20-minute timer on the go, and as soon as it goes off, get up. That's going to mean that everything's firing at once when you wake up, and you can be unstoppable. Finally, a bit of consistency can help. The whole point of this is that by getting into this rhythm, then your body's natural clock will reset and will understand that, we're coming to exam time, we're coming to nap time, and everything will start shutting off when it's time to, and then can get back and rejuvenated when it's time to study again. Remember, while naps can be beneficial, they cannot be a good enough supplement for a good 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night. So don't try and bun that off and have 5 hours sleep and justify having 2 or 3 naps. That's ridiculous. Stay healthy, people. Napping can be a powerful tool for memory retention, emotional boosted resilience, and all that other cognitive functioning stuff I've said. Studies are below if you do want to have a look at yourself. If you're studying for your GCSEs or any other exams, then maybe sprinkle in a few naps here and there to boost your retention and cognitive function, like we've said. And if you want to do even better, then check out this video where I shared how to get all 9s in your GCSE while still having a life. Otherwise, in the words of Tom Hardy, 99.